Did you know that something as simple as what you eat before bedtime could quietly be putting your heart and brain at risk, especially after age 60? Most people don't realize just how much effort the body puts into maintaining balance during the night. What you choose to eat before you go to sleep can either support your recovery or disrupt it in ways you'd never expect. This video isn't here to frighten you with rare or dramatic stories. It's here to help you understand what really happens inside your aging body while you sleep, and why certain foods you may have eaten for decades, can suddenly become dangerous simply because of the time you eat them. The reality is this: your digestion slows, your blood pressure becomes more sensitive, and your body's ability to heal overnight becomes more fragile as you grow older. A slice of cake, a piece of steak, or even a small nightcap that once felt harmless in your 40s could now interfere with your sleep, your heart rhythm, or even your brain function. In fact, the title of this video is based on a real case. A 75-year-old man, an active grandfather from Ohio, passed away quietly in his sleep after making one of the very mistakes we'll be discussing today. But this isn't about fear, and it's not about blaming any one food. It's about learning to honor what your body needs now, not 20 years ago. In today's video, I'll walk you through 6 foods you should avoid eating late at night, and more importantly, I'll explain why, backed by real stories, science, and simple tips you can put into action immediately. You'll probably recognize a few of these in your own routine. Stick with me until the end, because this isn't just about avoiding a bad night's sleep. It's about protecting your energy, your clarity, and your independence in the years that matter most. If you're between the ages of 60 and 85, this could be one of the most important health videos you watch all year. Now that we understand how your body becomes more sensitive after 60, let's take a closer look at the kinds of foods that can quietly throw your sleep off track. Starting with something surprisingly common: spicy food. If you're someone who loves a little heat in your meals, a warm bowl of chili, some spicy curry, maybe just a touch of hot sauce, you're not alone. For many, it's not just about flavor. It's comfort. It's tradition. It reminds us of Sunday dinners, backyard barbecues, or our younger days when we could eat just about anything without a second thought. But here's what most people don't realize. Spicy foods stimulate your sympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that handles stress, alertness, and fight or flight responses. It's like sending a message to your brain saying, stay awake, get ready. That's the last thing you want when your goal is peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. Spicy foods can raise your heart rate, make your body feel warm, and in some cases, trigger anxiety or restlessness. And if that weren't enough, they also irritate your digestive tract, especially if you lie down shortly after eating, leading to acid reflux, that burning sensation in your chest, dry coughing at 2 a.m., or a tightness in your throat that feels impossible to shake. According to researchers at the University of Tasmania in Australia, older adults who eat spicy meals close to bedtime are twice as likely to experience insomnia and nighttime disturbances compared to those who avoid spicy foods in the evening. That's a major difference. Let me share the story of someone who went through this. Tom, a 69-year-old retired firefighter from Texas, was never one to back down from bold flavors. His go-to comfort meal? Spicy beef chili, extra jalapenos, red pepper flakes, the works. He'd make it from scratch, grab a bowl after dinner, and settle in to watch his shows. At first, the problems were subtle. A little heartburn here, a restless night there, but then came the fatigue. He'd wake up groggy, skip his morning walks, and feel short-tempered for no clear reason. One morning, after barely sleeping, he sat on the edge of the bed, looked at his wife, and said, "I just don't feel like myself anymore." That was the moment they both knew something needed to change, so he made one simple shift. He kept his chili recipe but moved it to lunchtime, and for dinner, he switched to gentler meals: vegetable soup, lightly steamed greens, a couple of boiled eggs. The results were almost immediate. His sleep deepened. He woke up clearer. His energy came back. And more importantly, he felt in control again. You see, you don't have to give up the flavors you love. You just have to give your body what it needs when it needs it. And after 60, your body needs calm, not heat at night. Give it peace, and it will reward you with rest, healing, and brighter mornings. Spicy food might warm the soul, but if eaten at the wrong time, it can quietly steal your sleep. The good news? Shifting your spicy meals to earlier in the day is a simple act with powerful results. Now I want to hear from you. Do you enjoy spicy food in the evening? Have you noticed any changes in your sleep after a spicy dinner? If so, let us know in the comments by typing the word spicy. You might be surprised how many others feel the same. If this part resonated with you, tap the like button. It helps us reach more people just like you. And be sure to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders so you never miss another tip that could help you sleep better, feel better, and age stronger, one choice at a time. Of course, it's not just spicy meals that keep the body on high alert. Some of the most beloved evening habits, like a square of chocolate or a calming cup of tea, might actually be stealing your rest without you knowing it. If you've ever thought a little chocolate after dinner or a calming cup of tea might help you wind down, you're definitely not alone. In fact, these evening rituals are incredibly common, comforting, familiar, and often believed to be harmless. But the truth is, not all evening treats are created equal, especially if you're over the age of 60 and value a good night's rest. Let's talk about chocolate and some surprisingly sneaky sources of caffeine that might be keeping you up, even when you're doing your best to relax. You see, chocolate, particularly dark chocolate, contains both caffeine and a compound called theobromine. These two ingredients stimulate the nervous system. They make your heart beat a little faster, your brain stay a little more active, and they work directly against your body's natural production of melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep, and the effects go deeper than you might expect. According to the Sleep Foundation, even a small amount of caffeine in the evening can reduce your deep sleep by up to 20%, especially for adults over 60. That's a big deal because deep sleep is when your brain repairs itself, your heart rate slows, and your immune system strengthens. It's not just chocolate, though. Green tea, white tea, decaf coffee, even some over-the-counter pain relievers and weight loss supplements contain small but impactful doses of caffeine. And if your body has become more sensitive with age, as many do, it doesn't take much to disrupt your sleep cycle. Let me introduce you to Marilyn, a 75-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. She had always been health conscious, and every night, without fail, she'd end her day with two things: a square of dark chocolate and a warm mug of green tea. She thought she was doing something good for herself. Antioxidants, heart health, a relaxing routine. But something felt off. She'd fall asleep just fine, but then wake up again and again. Vivid dreams, restless legs, dry mouth. And in the mornings, she felt groggy, slow, and disconnected. For a while, she chalked it up to aging. But deep down, she knew something wasn't right. Then one day, at a senior wellness workshop, she heard a presentation about how caffeine stays in the system for 6 to 8 hours. That night, she tried something different. She swapped her green tea for chamomile with cinnamon and skipped the chocolate. It wasn't easy. At first, it felt like giving up a ritual, but the difference was undeniable. Within just a few days, her sleep became deeper, and she woke up feeling refreshed, not foggy. She got her mornings back. She even returned to her painting hobby, which she hadn't touched in months because she just didn't feel sharp enough. Sometimes the smallest changes give you the biggest pieces of your life back. So here's the takeaway. If you're having trouble staying asleep, or if you wake up more tired than when you went to bed, it might be time to check your evening habits, even the ones that seem innocent. Try switching to herbal teas like chamomile, passion flower, or lemon balm. And if you're craving something sweet, go for a slice of banana or a few warm almonds with cinnamon. You'd be surprised how comforting natural choices can be. Chocolate and tea may soothe the soul, but at the wrong time, they can steal the rest your body is quietly begging for. Now let me ask you, what do you usually drink after dinner? Is it tea? A little something sweet? Drop your answer in the comments. We'd love to know what your nighttime routine looks like. And if this part helped you connect some dots in your own life, hit the like button and share this video with someone you care about. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, where every week we bring you practical tips to help you stay sharp, strong, and peaceful as you age. Now, if chocolate surprised you, this next one might feel even more personal. For many people, especially in their golden years, it's a familiar nightly ritual, but one with unexpected effects on your sleep and safety. Let's shift our attention to something a bit more surprising: alcohol. For many people, especially in their retirement years, a small glass of wine or a bit of bourbon in the evening feels like a comforting ritual. It's tradition. It signals the end of the day. Maybe it even helps you fall asleep faster. But here's the truth that most people don't realize. Alcohol doesn't actually help you sleep. It sedates you. There's a big difference between sedation and real restorative sleep, and that difference becomes critical as you age. Alcohol can knock you out quickly, yes, but once the sedative effects wear off in the middle of the night, your sleep becomes shallow and fragmented. You may wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., restless, sweating, needing to use the bathroom, or simply unable to fall back asleep. According to studies published in the Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry and Neurology, alcohol consumption in older adults significantly reduces REM sleep. the deep dreaming phase that's essential for memory, emotional balance, and brain recovery. And unfortunately, REM sleep is already harder to come by as we age, but it doesn't stop there. Alcohol also raises your core body temperature, increases nighttime heart rate, and places additional strain on your liver, which has to work overtime while the rest of your body is trying to rest. This makes your sleep less efficient and leaves you feeling groggy or mentally foggy in the morning. And then there's the issue of balance. Even a small amount of alcohol can impair your coordination, slow your reaction time, and increase the risk of falls, especially when getting up in the middle of the night. According to the National Institute on Aging, falls are the #1 cause of fatal injuries among older adults in the U.S. One slip in the dark can change everything. Let me tell you about Marvin, a 76-year-old retired mechanic from Indiana. For decades, Marvin had a nightly tradition, a hot toddy before bed. It was his way to relax. Warm, familiar, even nostalgic. But over time, his wife noticed changes. He'd snore louder. He'd wake up disoriented. Some mornings, he'd seem distant, foggy, confused, not quite himself. Then one night, he got up to use the bathroom and lost his balance. He didn't fall, but he came close. That moment scared them both. He spoke to his doctor, who gently explained how alcohol was affecting not just his sleep, but his safety, his clarity, and even his brain health. So Marvin decided to try something different. He gave up the hot toddy for just 1 week. Instead, he drank a warm cup of cinnamon tea with a touch of honey. And the results? Clearer mornings, fewer nighttime wake-ups, a sense of energy he hadn't felt in months. And best of all, he no longer feared falling when walking in the dark. It wasn't the alcohol he missed, it was the comfort. And once he found a safer, gentler ritual, he never looked back. That's the lesson here. It's not about deprivation, it's about upgrading the way we care for ourselves. After 60, your body speaks more softly, but more truthfully. When you listen and you adjust, the rewards are powerful. Better rest, sharper thinking, fewer risks, more energy to do the things you love. If you're currently sipping a little something before bed, just try skipping it for a few nights. You might be surprised how much your body thanks you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Do you enjoy a nightcap in the evening? Have you ever noticed it affecting your sleep or balance? Type nightcap in the comments if this resonated with you. Let's open up a conversation in our Golden Wise Elders community. If you found this part helpful or eye-opening, tap the like button to support the channel. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this important series. We've got more tips coming that can help you sleep better, feel brighter, and live longer, starting with the choices you make tonight. We've looked at heat, caffeine, and alcohol, but sometimes it's sweetness, pure and simple, that quietly pulls you out of restful sleep. And the truth is, even a little can make a big difference. Let's turn to something that often feels much more innocent. Sugar. Dessert after dinner. A cookie before bed. Just a few spoonfuls of something sweet to end the day. It sounds harmless. It might even feel like a reward. After all, haven't you earned it? But here's what you may not know. Sugar doesn't stay sweet once it reaches your bloodstream, especially at night. When you eat something high in sugar late in the evening, cake, candy, even a bowl of ice cream, your blood sugar levels spike quickly. At first, you might feel relaxed, comforted, even sleepy, but just a few hours later, that sugar rush comes crashing down. Your body responds to this drop in blood sugar by releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And instead of resting, your body jolts itself awake. That's why so many people find themselves waking up at 2 or 3 a.m., heart racing, drenched in sweat, or needing to use the bathroom, even though they felt fine when they went to sleep. According to researchers at Harvard Medical School, consuming sugary foods after 8 p.m. has been shown to disrupt the natural melatonin-cortisol rhythm, a cycle that plays a critical role in the quality of your sleep. In other words, even one small dessert can throw off the delicate hormonal balance your body depends on to rest and recover. And the older you get, the more sensitive your system becomes to those shifts. Let me tell you about Linda, a 70-year-old grandmother from San Diego. She had a simple routine. Every evening after dinner, she'd have a warm bowl of sweet rice pudding, just like her mother used to make. It brought her comfort, reminded her of home, and helped her relax. But every night, like clockwork, she'd wake up around 2:30 a.m. Her heart would race. Sometimes she'd break into a light sweat, and she'd often have to rush to the bathroom. At first, she blamed it on aging, or her bladder, or even stress. But her doctor suggested she try skipping the sugar after dinner for just 1 week. She was skeptical, but she gave it a shot. She swapped her rice pudding for a few slices of steamed pear and drank unsweetened cinnamon tea instead. And that was all it took. Within days, her sleep improved. The wake-up stopped. Her mornings felt lighter. And most importantly, she realized her body wasn't betraying her. It was simply asking for something better. Here's the truth. You don't have to give up sweetness. You just have to get smart about when and how you enjoy it. If you crave something sweet in the evening, try options that are lower on the glycemic index and naturally calming, like bananas, pears, or a warm herbal tea. Avoid processed desserts and high-sugar snacks, especially after 7 or 8 p.m. Your body isn't punishing you, it's protecting you. And when you treat it with care, it responds with clarity, energy, and restful nights. So let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed a pattern between late-night sweets and waking up during the night? Drop a comment below with "I've been there" if this sounds familiar, and share what dessert is hardest for you to give up. If this part of the video helped you learn something new, give it a like so we know we're on the right track. But what if the issue isn't what you sip or snack on, but what fills your plate? Let's talk about those hearty, satisfying dinners that feel so comforting, yet could be weighing down your sleep more than you think, specifically the weight of your dinner. Because sometimes what's on your plate feels hearty, satisfying, even celebratory. A juicy steak, a late barbecue with the grandkids, a comforting beef stew on a cold evening. For many of us, red meat feels like a reward. But after age 60, your body doesn't process these meals the way it used to. Red meat, especially cuts that are high in fat, takes a long time to digest. That means while you're trying to sleep, your stomach is still hard at work. Your digestive system is on overtime. Your core temperature stays elevated, and instead of entering deep sleep, your body stays tense and alert. You might not even realize the connection, but over time, that pattern wears you down. Even more concerning, heavy red meat meals have been linked to increased episodes of acid reflux, spikes in nighttime blood pressure, and in some cases, irregular heart rhythms, all of which become riskier as we age. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that adults over 60 who ate protein-heavy meals after 7 p.m. experienced a 23% reduction in sleep quality. That's not just a bad night's rest. That's your heart, brain, and immune system getting less of the recovery they desperately need. Let me tell you about Walter, a 70-year-old Army veteran from Kansas. He loved grilling, especially steak. Every Friday night, he'd fire up the backyard BBQ, pour a glass of red wine, and enjoy a thick, juicy ribeye. But one particular night, after eating later than usual, he felt off. His chest tightened. Breathing became harder. He didn't want to worry his wife, but the next morning, his blood pressure had spiked, and he felt like he'd been hit by a truck. His doctor told him his late heavy meal had triggered a combination of reflux and mild cardiac stress. It wasn't a heart attack, but it was a warning. Walter didn't quit meat altogether, but he made a shift. He moved steak to lunch. For dinner, he now enjoys lighter options: baked fish, boiled eggs, or lentil soup. Meals that are easier to digest, kinder to his heart, and more respectful of his body's nighttime rhythm. And here's the best part. He started sleeping like he hadn't in years. His energy came back. His morning walks returned. His wife even said he started smiling more. That's the power of understanding what your body needs and honoring it. Eating heavy doesn't mean sleeping well. In fact, after 60, the best gift you can give your body is lightness in the evening, so that every system can rest, recover, and rebuild. And no, it's not about giving up flavor or tradition. It's about giving your body the freedom to do its most important work: healing while you sleep. Now let me ask you something. What's your go-to meat dish at night? A roast, a burger, something off the grill? Comment below with your favorite. And maybe tonight, try swapping it out for something gentler. You might be surprised at how much better you feel tomorrow. And if this part of the video gave you an aha moment, tap that like button. It really supports our work. Share this with someone who loves a big dinner, and don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders, because small changes in your evening could lead to big changes in your life. And finally, we come to something that's often overlooked: a few bites here and there, just a snack before bed. But these savory little indulgences might be doing more harm than you realize, especially as the years add up, and it might just be sitting on your evening snack plate. Let's talk about aged cheeses and salty cured meats, things like cheddar, salami, ham, and smoked sausages. They're flavorful, satisfying, easy to nibble on while watching TV or winding down with a movie. But here's the catch. These foods may be small in portion, but powerful in their effects. Aged cheeses and preserved meats contain a compound called tyramine. It's naturally formed during the aging and fermentation process. And in younger bodies, it's usually not a problem. But after age 65, tyramine can be a quiet trigger for a number of uncomfortable symptoms. Tyramine stimulates the release of norepinephrine, a stress-related hormone that can raise blood pressure, increase heart rate, and disrupt your ability to relax. According to experts at the Mayo Clinic, foods high in tyramine have been shown to significantly interfere with sleep regulation in older adults. For some, it causes racing thoughts, shallow sleep, or intense dreams. For others, it shows up as morning headaches, swelling in the legs or feet, or extra trips to the bathroom during the night. Let me tell you about Frank, an 80-year-old widower from New Jersey. Every night, Frank had a ritual: 2 slices of sharp cheddar, 3 rounds of salami, and a few crackers. It was his quiet time. He'd enjoy them while watching the late-night news, feeling relaxed and comforted. But for months, he wasn't sleeping well. He woke up groggy, his ankles were swollen, and he had this lingering headache that never quite went away. His doctor ruled out the big things: blood pressure, heart, hydration. Everything looked normal, until a dietitian asked a simple question: "What's your nighttime snack?" Frank was surprised. He never thought something as small as cheese and salami could be the cause. But after cutting them out for just a few nights and replacing them with a warm glass of milk, a handful of walnuts, and a banana slice, everything changed. His headaches faded, his legs felt lighter, and for the first time in months, he slept through the night without waking once. You see, the foods we choose before bed don't just affect our stomach. They send signals to our entire nervous system. And after 60 or 70, those signals get louder and their consequences go deeper. It's not about restriction. It's about respecting your body's rhythm. You're not being punished for getting older. You're being asked to listen more closely. So if you're someone who enjoys salty snacks or aged cheese in the evening, try moving those treats to lunch or early afternoon. Your nights will thank you. Try replacing those nighttime cravings with calming choices: a mug of warm milk with cinnamon, a few walnuts or almonds, which contain natural melatonin, a slice of banana, rich in magnesium and potassium, minerals that relax muscles and support sleep. Remember, it's not about cutting pleasure out of your life. It's about shifting it to a time when your body can truly enjoy it without paying the price later. Now, let me ask you, do you enjoy salty snacks or cheese before bed? Have you ever noticed swelling, headaches, or disrupted sleep afterward? Drop a comment below and let us know your favorite evening snack, and if you're open to trying a gentler one tonight. And if this section gave you a fresh perspective, give it a thumbs up to help more people discover the power of eating smart, especially as we age. So let's take a quiet breath together and reflect. Tonight, we walk through 6 simple food habits that might be quietly working against your rest. Foods that raise your heart rate, spike your blood sugar, disrupt your digestion, and leave your body fighting to recover when it should be healing. We're not here to scare you. We're here to remind you that your body isn't fragile. It's wise. And with just a few small changes, swapping that steak for fish, trading late-night sweets for a banana, choosing tea without caffeine, you can create space for deeper sleep, brighter mornings, and stronger days ahead. Because aging isn't about losing control. It's about learning how to listen better, love your body more deeply, and adapt with intention. And I want you to remember this: growing older doesn't mean giving up. It means growing smarter. And when you make these shifts, no matter how small, you're saying to yourself, I still matter. My health still matters. My future still matters. You don't have to change everything at once. Just pick one thing from this video. Try it tonight. See how you feel tomorrow. Then come back and tell us about it. We're on this journey with you, not as experts talking down to you, but as friends walking beside you. So if this video gave you something to think about or helped you feel more hopeful, please tap the like button. Share it with someone you care about. It might help them sleep better too. And in the comments, tell us what's one small change you're willing to try this week. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders and turn on the bell, because every week we'll be here with more real stories, helpful tips, and gentle reminders that your best years are still unfolding, one wise choice at a time. Thank you for spending this time with us. Take care tonight. Sleep well. And we'll see you in the next video.